So, another man has taken on the subject of the crisis of men and boys. Now, this video is probably going to take up the full 3 minutes, so be aware, because I'm going to discuss his article, and then I have some other analysis to add to it. This is the picture that he used for his article. Obviously, this looks like a very downtrodden and distraught young man. Okay, so let's get into David Brooks's article. He talks about boys being less school ready than girls, and then towards the yellow piece that I have highlighted, I'm just going to jump into the men. 1 in 3 American men with only a high school diploma is now unemployed. The biggest group of unemployed are men between 25 and 34. Women's wages have actually increased by 33%, and that accounts for the gains in the middle class. Have you ever heard the term deaths of despair? These are the deaths that are attributed to unaliving oneself and drug overdoses, and men account for 75% of those. David Brooks quotes this man, Richard Reeves, in his book of Boys and Men. I have not read this book. This is a book that I will tackle, but he does start to quote some of the findings of Richard Reeves. It seems like boys have tons of issues that people should be addressing, but he says boys are much more hindered by challenging environments than girls. Girls in poor neighborhoods and unstable families still find a way to get out, but boys are less likely to do so. Boys also seem to struggle more in single-parent households, and there are more policies for women to find work, not men. Women's college degrees are increasing by 45%, but men's have remained flat. Reeves suggests that boys should start school 1 year later because their prefrontal cortex and cerebellum have not developed as much as girls. Y'all need to just find this article. The last thing I want to point out before I start with my analysis is that roughly 15% of men say have no close friends, and 1 in 5 fathers doesn't live with his children. You know, honestly, I will probably have to just make a follow-up because there's too much in that article that needs to be evaluated. So there will be a part 2. But if most of the men that are 25 to 34 are the ones that are struggling, most of their parents had to be boomers. And the boomers had 2 generations of wealth and were living it up. And now their kids are struggling. So we're going to deep dive into that problem next. Look for the part 2. Please follow.